The arcade era. Pong hit arcades in the early 70s and rewrote what fun looked like in public spaces. Before long, arcades were lighting up malls and corner stores across America. Kids dumped quarters into games such as Dig Dug, Pac-Man, and Galaga like it was religion. The graphics were basic, the goals were simple, but the dopamine was real. High scores mattered. Beating your friend's name on the leaderboard actually meant something. These weren't just machines, they were proving grounds. By the early 1980s, arcades became cultural landmarks. Games like Centipede, Defender, and Missile Command turned kids into neighborhood legends. Arcades generated billions annually. It was the first golden age of gaming. The Atari era. In 1977, the Atari 2600 dropped, bringing arcade hits like Space Invaders into your home. Suddenly, gaming wasn't just something you did in public, it was a nightly routine. Pitfall, Adventure, and Breakout turned bedrooms into battlegrounds. Atari sold over 30 million units, and video games became a staple of American households. But as third-party developers flooded the market, the cracks started to show. With little regulation, the console saw a flood of low-quality games. E.T. was just the tip of the iceberg. Shovelware killed consumer trust. Retailers pulled back, and the market was heading straight for disaster. The Nintendo era. Things got ugly by 1983. The market was bloated with cheap, rushed games. People called gaming a fad. Stores completely stopped stocking consoles. But in 1985, Nintendo pulled a magic trick. The NES wasn't a console, it was an entertainment system. It came with a robot and games like Duck Hunt to reframe expectations. Super Mario Bros., Zelda, and Metroid didn't just revive gaming, they created icons. Mario became more recognizable than Mickey Mouse. Nintendo sold over 61 million NES units globally, and in doing so, they redefined what it meant to play at home. Their tight quality control system ensured consistency. Gaming was back. The console wars era. The 90s were all about war. Sega Genesis came out swinging with speed, attitude, and Sonic. Genesis did something unheard of. They pushed edgy marketing, sports games, and more. Nintendo clapped back with the SNES and deeper, more refined library. Street Fighter II, Donkey Kong Country, Super Metroid, and Final Fantasy VI weren't just fun, they were art. The SNES sold 49 million units, the Genesis around 35 million. Everyone picked a side, Sega or Nintendo. There was no in between. This was the golden age of couch co-op and pixel mastery, and for the first time, gaming became part of global pop culture, with game magazines, cartoons, and serial tie-ins. The 3D revolution era. Sony dropped the PlayStation in 1994, and it was like nothing before. With CDs, developers had more space, better sound, and actual cutscenes. Final Fantasy VII looked like an actual movie. Metal Gear Solid felt like never before seen cinema. Crash Bandicoot gave us attitude with polish. Resident Evil also added horror into the mix. The PlayStation sold over 100 million units. It made gaming cool for teens and adults, not just kids. Nintendo countered with the N64. Fewer games, but quite the lineup. Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, and GoldenEye 007. The N64 sold about 33 million units, but left a permanent mark. 3D gaming wasn't just a gimmick, it was the future. The Xbox era. In 2001, Microsoft saw the opening. They launched the Xbox, bulky, green, and full of promise. Halo Combat Evolved changed the shooter landscape. It wasn't just a game, it was a LAN party religion. Xbox Live took multiplayer online in a serious way. Gamers could now download patches and expansions. Hard drives replaced memory cards. Sony still ruled with the PlayStation 2, which sold over 155 million units and hosted everything from GTA 3 to Shadow of the Colossus. But Xbox had planted a flag. It wasn't about graphics, it was about infrastructure. Online was the future. The Wii era. While everyone else pushed graphics and realism, Nintendo brought in Grandma. The Wii launched in 2006 with motion controls and Wii Sports. It wasn't just successful, it was a cultural event. Hospitals, retirement homes, schools, everyone was bowling, golfing, and boxing with those plastic remotes. It outsold both the PS3 and Xbox 360, hitting over 100 million units sold. Games like Wii Fit, Mario Kart Wii, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl expanded what gaming could mean. It wasn't just about core gamers anymore. Nintendo cracked open a new market. The cinematic era. The hardcore crowd stayed with PlayStation and Xbox. The PS3 and Xbox 360 ushered in cinematic storytelling. Uncharted, Red Dead Redemption, The Last of Us, and BioShock weren't just entertaining, they were emotionally resonant. Meanwhile, Call of Duty became a global phenomena. Digital stores rose. DLCs and expansion packs became the norm. Gaming felt like prestige TV, but playable. Production values exploded. Consoles became media hubs, streaming, music, and social platforms all integrated, and players spent hundreds of hours in open worlds that felt alive. The Nintendo Switch era. In 2017, Nintendo pulled off another miracle. The Switch blurred the lines between handheld and home console. Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey weren't just great games, they were system sellers. It sold over 139 million units as of 2024. Indie developers thrived with hits like Hollow Knight, Stardew Valley, and Hades. You could play Skyrim on a plane, Smash Bros. In the car, Animal Crossing even in your bed. The Switch didn't just adapt, it redefined how and where we play. It was flexibility and power all in one. Next gen and digital future era. Now, we're in the PS5 and Xbox Series X era. Teraflops, SSDs, and ray tracing led the charge. But beyond specs, it's about access. Subscription services like Game Pass flipped the business model. Indie games sit side by side with top-tier blockbusters. Physical discs are fading. Cloud gaming is growing. Crossplay is becoming the standard. Even mobile platforms are getting console-level experiences. Virtual reality slowly gaining ground. Gaming isn't just entertainment anymore. It's identity, culture, and community. From Pong all the way to photorealism, from arcades to online ecosystems, video games have outlived every prediction of their demise. They've become art, sport, storytelling, and social space. Whether you're speedrunning classics or exploring vast open worlds, one thing is clear, it's still just getting started. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more.